Hey buddy, it's 54 New Star, and today we're going to begin, basically, if you've seen this from the Blender artist page, the tutorial series on how to make a third-person shooter similar to Shadowgun, but in a, totally different storyline and all that stuff. Also on a totally different engine. Shadowgun was made using a very great engine, an engine that I use called Unity 3D. I'm using a different engine, more toward mobile devices and web pages, unlike computers. So what's a game? Well, the game's called Nova Prime, and if you want to see the story, it's going to be down below in the link, at least the first episode of the game. But we're not here for that. We're here to how to make the pre-scene leading up to the menu, and then some buttons. So, what do you need? Well, you're going to need Copper Cube Engine. I have 4.5. I'm waiting for the version 5 series to come out, so that I can, do even more with terrains and huge landscapes and all that stuff. Basically, Unreal 2 or Unity 2.4 type quality stuff. Okay, so what do you need after you have the engine? Well, you're going to need assets, and I have all my assets already here in the textures scene because these are actually in-game assets. Like in Blender, create a plane. So what did I do for the Android, because as you can see I can publish to Android APK, app for Mac OS, WebGL, Windows, and Flash. Well, I basically sized down everything. This Rogue Planet texture was like, what was it? I know it was like 1,000 by 1,000. It was like really huge. And now it's 480 by 317. I think it was 4,000 by 3,000. Excuse me, guys. I'm yawning a lot. Sorry about that. I yawn a lot on when I'm on camera. So yeah, when you're going from HD to SD, which is standard definition, you use a lot less memory. So the actual device doesn't have to import all the objects. Even when importing one object, a 4,000 by 3,000 pixel texture is a lot of stuff. So size down your stuff. Make sure you have a small version and a large version file, because you can just use the large version for your PC because it has more memory to spare. And you want it to look great on all those HD screens. But on your standard mobile device, you don't need that type of that type of high definition, unless you're putting it on a character model. So okay, so what do we do first? Basically what I did was, after low-resing everything, I went to scene editing, added in a plane, and then I rotated it to the camera. So you can rotate stuff multiple different ways. You can hit this little blue arrow or a point, and you can rotate it there. Hit attributes, and go about -90. Oops, wrong one. And then we can add a texture on it to see how it's going to look real quick. So I'm going to scroll through my textures, hit that one, go to materials, and then select that texture. Now as you can see, they're totally different. So we're going to click the original, and it's going to say 90-90. So we want to rotate that 90 degrees. Let's go here, hit 90. Wrong one. 90 minus 90. Boom, done. So that's how you get it done. And then, but how do you get the camera to look at it? Well, you're gonna have to add a camera. So create a camera. You can either do a simple camera or a third-person camera. I did a third-person camera just for the fact that it already has to look at something continuously. So I hit selected the camera, hit third-person style, and I told it to follow plane mesh 1. Don't move. Basically, don't collide whirl. Basically, set everything to 0, and then we're going to, well, tell it to look at something. So we're going to actually select the plane, copy its position, go back to the camera, go to item specific, target, paste the exact center point of the plane to what it's going to be, what the camera's going to be looking at, and so you're going to click on it dead on. Now we're going to code it. So make sure that you have a bunch of scenes to go to, because we're going to go to another one. And so we're going to click the plane, and we're going to say on proximity to something. That means we're going to be near something. So we're going to be near, within 100 cubes or 100 spaces, the current active camera. This is the current active camera. So we're going to say, okay, you know, within 100 cubes of the current active camera, if it enters radius or is in the current radius of the plane, we're going to do something. We're going to do something later. We're going to defer for about 3 seconds, or about 3,000 milliseconds. We're going to defer what we're eventually going to do, which is switch to another scene. What scene? Well, we're going to go to scene 2. So we're going to go to scene 2, and then we're going to go to the current active camera. This is the current active camera in the scene, which is camera 1. Okay, we're at the current active camera, and we're within, we're on proximity to do something. Well, we're on a distance about 100 cubes, same as the previous scene. We're within the radius of and it's the current active camera that's staring at the plane. We're going to do something. Well, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to do something later. We're going to defer it again by about 3 seconds, or about 3,000 milliseconds, to change the current active camera. Change active camera. That would be in cameras and scenes, change active camera. We're going to tell it to go to camera 2. We're going to, say same scene, different camera. Okay. Well, we're going to switch over to the other camera, and we're going to basically say on proximity to something. Again, you see the repetitiveness. We're going to say, okay, within 100 cubes of the current active, and make sure that, the camera's within 100 cubes. It is. Actually, it's within, if you want to count it, it's within like 4-ish, 5-ish cubes. So we're going to say on proximity something within 100 cubes within the current active camera. Make sure that it's inside the radius. We're going to do something. We're going to do something later. We're going to do something later, of which it's going to switch to another scene, scene 3. Okay, we're going to, within 3 seconds or 3,000 milliseconds, switch to scene 3. Well, we're on scene 3. But before we exactly switch to scene 3, so we're on like scene 2.5 when we're actually moving all the data of scene 2 out, and scene 3 is going to be moved in. We're gonna call on before first drawing, do something. So we're gonna have nothing selected. We're going to basically click the plus button. Before first drawing, do something. We're going to do what? Well, we're going to play a sound. We're going to play Unknown Place. I got this from the Open Game Art. Play Unknown Place 0 OGG. We're going to set the volume to 100. We're going to set it to loop. But we're going to set it as a 2D sound. Basically, what you hear from your MP3s, not a 3D sound where you hear from Doom or any other game, to where you walk away from a washing machine, it's suddenly you cannot hear the washing machine when you're like out of the building, but suddenly when you get in from the farthest part of the inside of the building, of the washing machine, you start getting closer to the washing machine, you start hearing it. So we're going to play it as a 2D sound, and it's going to loop. Okay, where we now also going to have a rotating sphere. So we're going to set this to import. We're going to insert a static mesh, dark nova, and we're going to set this to rotate. We're going to click on planet. Oops. Planet. Now you can import .b3d, blend, object, you know, there's a whole bunch of stuff right here. And make sure that you've textured it in a third-party software. So we're going to select our planet texture small. It's 1000 by 500. And then we're going to basically have user interfaces, or UI, to the overlay. See, we selected it. Actually, and we're going to move it. See, we can scale it, but we can also move it. Then we go to attributes. No, we don't want to draw background, but we want to draw an image. An image of light bulbs. Boom. Done. So that's how I got these here. But I also selected, for some of them, aspect ratio, so that they would actually stay the same current size. Now, we're going to do the player button. Okay, so we're going to set for visible, all that good stuff. But we're also going to say, when clicked on this, now clicking also refers to tapping. You can tap on this object with your finger on a touchscreen object, touchscreen display. Action. Switch to another scene. Scene 1. Since we don't have like a first level or an intro animation. Stop all sounds. On exit, we're going to say, quit application. So we're going to go to games. Actually, that would be in special. Quit application. Boom. Done. Now, what I should also say is that in special you can execute a JavaScript. Right here, so you can have your custom code there too. So now that we're down here, also I want to say to edit the Skybox, all you have to do is click on the startup Skybox, hit materials, and you can basically edit all the sides there. So we're going to go back to scene 1, and we're going to say publish. Now, if you want to test out your APK, you can load it straight to your Android device, but if you want to test it quicker, you can publish it to WebGL, and it usually works the same as an Android device. So we have our rogue planet, powered by Blender, or created with Blender and powered by Emir whatever software. Rogue Planet Games 2014, all rights reserved. Terra Prime. Exit button doesn't work due to the fact that we're in a basically a website. And then we have our play button, which draws us back here. Alright, so hopefully guys you enjoyed that. Right after this section, when I say bye, you're going to see me pulling the game up on my Samsung Android device. So stick around for that, and it'll basically tell you how to install it and what it looks like when it's played. But until the next video, I'll see you later, and remember, hit the like button, and if you would like to help with this tutorial series, just message down below what you would be able to do, because this is like an open source tutorial series. Everything will be basically given to the public. Even this, as soon as I figure out, even this file for the CCB for the Copper Cube engine will be uploaded to Mediafire for people to download, to try out, to basically use as a template, or basically just to use so they can modify it for their own games. So and yeah, until then guys, I will see you later. Bye. Hey buddies, it's 4 New Star, and this is the game that I just made. I just moved it to my device into the SD card, or mini whatever card. Now I'm going to tap on it, hit package installer, hit just once, set OK for everything, hit open. It's going to load everything and all the textures. Gonna go through all the logos. Here we go. Terra Prime, Rogue Planet Games 2014, all rights reserved, all that blah blah blah. Hit the exit button. We hit back here. We pop it back up. It goes through everything again. Hits the menu, hits play, and we're back here again. So hopefully you guys, you enjoyed that. I'm going to delete everything, hit the apps, pop it back up again. So there we go. Hopefully you guys, you enjoyed it. I'll be putting up some like how to make intro videos and all animated scenes. So hopefully you guys, you enjoyed it and you found it useful. And to make Android games, the engine's really easy to use. It's like CopperQ 4.5 right now, but the CopperQ 5 will make it seem like Unity 2.4, something like that. Something really good. You can edit terrains a whole bunch. You can add in a whole bunch of stuff that you couldn't do before. Then I'll be getting it so I can do tutorials for you guys, because I really like this engine. I think it's a really good light contender for Unity, not like a full-scale version, not like a huge full-scale battle with Unity, but it's a really good simple engine, and if you're using it to get up to Unity, then you're really good. It allows you to code, or it allows you basically to not to code if you wish to. I do both. But yeah, that's just me. So I will see you guys in the next tutorial where we actually get into an intro video, and then I'll start doing we'll go into Blender where we start doing some character animations, importing that into, it's a little loud, importing that into the CopperCube engine, and then start, building animated scenes with characters, and then we'll actually start going to the first level, which if you've seen this, if you've seen my posting on the Blender artist page, you know what that is. I'll put the link below to that too, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.